Hi, my name's Dion and welcome to your practice today and welcome to my channel. So today's practice is going to be more of an intermediate practice. So if you're brand new to yoga, this may be a little bit too challenging for today because I'm not going to be giving as many instructional tips as I would normally do when I teach. So this is for someone who's got a practice already established and is quite familiar with the regular type of postures such as warriors and tree pose and sun salutations. I'm going to try and give you an all-round practice, so you're going to get the heart rate up a little bit, we're going to have some strong standing postures, we're going to have some balances in there, and there's going to be room for you to pause the video and to explore some of the postures in your own time and maybe have a little play with some handstands and arm balances if that's what you're familiar with, if that's what's already in your practice. So let's just take a moment to arrive. So firstly, welcome and a huge congratulations to you to take this opportunity to spend some time with you today. So you've done a great job just to get here on your mat physically. So let's see if we can arrive mentally. Let's just give ourselves a few moments. So you can sit cross-legged if this is comfortable for you in your knees and hips. If not, just feel free to sit back on your heels or take the legs out straight. We're going to try and leave everything at the door, so let's just park your to-do list for today and let's just honour ourselves for this 30 minutes or so on our mat. So you can take any comfortable position, just let the eyes close or lower the gaze to the floor. Closing the mouth, gently closing the lips and breathing in and out through the nose. Again, just taking a moment to physically and mentally be here on your yoga mat, preparing to be there throughout your practice. Just noticing how the breath is feeling this morning or this evening, whenever it is you're practicing today. Just feeling the inhale, feeling the exhale. 2 more breaths here. And on your next inhale, let's reach those arms out and wide and up to the sky. And bring the hands together to the heart space. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling, bring them up into the sky, down to the heart space. Last time, reaching it up and reaching it down. Coming over onto the hands and knees, so you might be able to just rock over those knees there, or you may need to take the legs behind. Planting palms onto the floor, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Let's just take a breath here. On the inhale, shoulders back, bottom is high. On the exhale, round in the spine, chin to chest, tailbone under. Inhaling, heart forward, shoulders back, bottom high. Exhaling, round in the spine, chin to chest. Inhaling, heart forward, bottom high. And exhaling, rounding the spine, chin to chest. Let's tuck the toes under, press into the hands, lift the knees, take the bottom to sky. So our first downward dog, and there's going to be a few. So let's just pedal the feet here, drop one heel and the other, moving through the ankles, the knees, the hips. Taking a few breaths here and then bringing some stillness to your down dog. Again, sit bones to sky, heels dropping towards the floor. Let's roll those shoulders away from the ears. Opening up across the shoulder blades, triceps towards the floor. We're going to start to walk those feet up to the hands, so you can bend your knees as much as you need to. You might need to come onto fingertips like I do. And let's take an exhale over those legs. And as we inhale, pull in your belly, reach the arms wide, lift the heart, come all the way up to the sky. Exhaling back to the heart. We're going to take a few rounds of I call the flow. We're going to take 6 rounds in all. So we're going to inhale as we take the arms wide and up. Exhaling, taking them to the floor. Bottom is high. Inhale halfway up, nice flat back. Exhale all the way over. Keep the knees soft. Inhaling, push into the feet, pull in the belly, lift it to the sky. Exhaling, big circle back to the heart. Inhaling, down, out and up with the arms. Exhaling, sweep those arms wide and down. Inhaling, halfway up, shoulders back. Exhale all the way over. Inhaling, nice strong legs, strong bottom, strong belly to bring you up to the top. Exhaling to the heart center. Inhaling, big circle. Exhaling to the floor. Inhale, halfway up, shoulders back. Exhale over. Inhale all the way up, heart leads. Exhale back to the heart. I really love to do this at the beginning of all of my practices. Inhaling, lift it up. It just really opens up the back of the body. Exhaling to the floor. Inhaling halfway up. There's no force and no strain. Exhale over. Inhale, belly in, all the way to the sky. Exhale back to the heart. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling. Exhaling to the floor. Inhaling halfway up. Exhaling over. Let the inhale lift you. Strong belly, strong legs. Hands to sky. Exhale, bring it home to the center. Inhaling, last one. Exhaling to the floor. Inhaling, lifting the heart. Exhaling over. And inhaling all the way up to the sky. Exhaling back to the heart. If you're not already there, come into the front of your mat. We're going to come into some Surya Namaskar, some sun salutations. Hands together. Inhaling. Exhaling. Keep palms together as we inhale and lift up. Little back bend if this feels good for you now. Exhaling, reach forward with those arms all the way to the floor. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Right leg, big step back as far as it will go. Knee to the floor. Pull in the belly, lengthen the spine, shoulders back. I'm going to take this first round a little bit slower, just to get familiar with these postures. We're going to feel open through the quads and the front of the hip here. Into plank, so we place these hands on the floor, lift the back knee, step it back to plank. Backs of the knees lifting, heels pushing away. Keep that belly in nice and tight. Push the hands into the floor. We shift forward slightly, pushing into the toes as we drop the knees. Squeeze the elbows in, bring heart to the floor. Inhaling, sweep the heart forward as we drop the hips into our cobra. Tuck the toes, press onto the knees, lift the bottom to the sky. Downward facing dog. Keep shoulders away from ears, fingers pressing into the floor. Right leg, you're going to lift that leg off the floor. Hug the knee up towards the nose. And step that right foot all the way between the hands, top of your mat. If it doesn't come there first time, give a little help with the hand. Shoulders back, spine is long. Left leg, we're going to step it forward to meet the right. Use your exhale to fold over those legs. Bring hands to heart. Inhale, lift the heart all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands down to the sides. Inhaling, palms together. Exhaling. Inhaling, lift it up. Keep your belly active as you reach back. Exhale, fold forward. Left leg, big step back. Knee to the floor. Spine is long. Right leg, stepping back to plank. Knees come to the floor, squeeze the elbows in as we lower the chest to the floor. Inhaling, little cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. belly comes in. So remember to keep active in the front of your body when we're in downward dog. Belly and rib cage lifting up away from the floor. Left leg, lifting that leg up, hugging that knee to the nose, sweep it under and step it all the way through. Right knee to the floor, shoulders back, pulling the belly. Right leg, lift the knee off the floor and step that foot all the way up to meet the left. Exhale over those legs, hands together, thumbs to heart. Push into those feet, lift your chest, lift the arms to sky. Exhale, hands down to the sides. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach to sky. Exhale, fold it forward. Right leg stepping back, knee to floor, shoulders back. Left leg stepping back to plank. Knees to floor, chest to floor. Inhale, drop those hips, lift to cobra. Downward dog, tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, belly in. Right leg, picking that foot off the floor and stepping it all the way through to the front of your mat. Left leg steps through to join the right. Exhale over these legs. Hands together, thumbs to heart, belly in. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands down to the sides. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, the last one just like this. Inhale, lift to sky. Exhale, fold forward. Left leg stepping back, knee to the floor. Right leg stepping back to plank. Knees down, chest down. Inhale, cobra. Keep the neck long here. Tuck the toes, lift the bottom, downward dog. Left leg stepping forward, right knee to the floor. Right leg stepping forward, fold forward. If you know that you're strong in your back and your core, here you can reach the arms out, keep them in line with the ears as you push into those legs and lift all the way up. Makes it a little bit more challenging, but please keep that belly active. Hands down to the sides. Inhale, palms together. We're going to start to change it up a little bit. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fall forward. Right leg, step it back. Knee to the floor. We're going to take a twist. Right hand stays down. Left hand reaches up to the sky. So we're twisting towards that front knee. Hips stay nice and steady. We're moving through the waist, the ribs and the chest. Bring that left hand to the floor. And we're going to make these hips travel back and up to the sky. So we straighten the front leg. We lift the hips high. We lift those front toes. And hopefully you're feeling the stretch up the back of that leg. Place that left foot back onto the floor. Hands come back to the floor. Step it back to plank. Knees to the floor, heart to the floor, cobra. Tuck the toes, lift the bottom, downward dog, belly is in. Right foot, stepping it all the way to the top of your mat between the hands. Left hand stays down, right hand reaches up to the sky. Really feel length from fingertips to fingertips. Open up the chest. Bring that right hand to the floor, straighten your front leg, lift your front toes, lift this bottom high to the sky. Few breaths. And take that right foot back to the floor, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, step it forward to meet the right. Exhale over these legs. Hands can come together to the heart, or remember you can straighten these arms out. Push into the legs all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, palms together. Exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold it forward. Left leg, big step back. Knee to the floor. So you've got some options here. You can come into that first twist that we've just done, or make sure you've got your grounding Otherwise you're going to start to topple, pull in your belly, lift the chest, and you can place left elbow over that right knee. Maybe palms can come together. So the chest is lifting away from the thigh. Drop this right shoulder down so we're not hunching up into the ear. And we're taking a twist here. Bring those hands back to centre. Take the hands to the floor, straighten that front leg, bottom lifts high. Notice if you push down into your left knee, your right hip is going to lift a little bit higher. It's going to intensify that stretch a little bit more in the back of that right leg. Take the foot to the floor, step it back to plank, knees to the floor, heart to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot stepping forward, right knee to the floor. We've got our twist options. Right hand stays down, left hand lifts up, or we lift the chest away from the thigh, take the hands to the heart, twist to your left, take that right elbow over the left thigh. Push the left hand into the right, it's going to deepen your twist. Drop your left shoulder away from your ear. Bring those hands back to heart center, to the floor, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, step it forward. Exhale, over the legs. We're going to hold it here. We're going to bend both knees and place left hand on the floor. We're going to sweep right hand to the sky as we straighten that right leg. Your left knee is still bent. Your right leg is straight as we can. Feel that stretch of the hamstring, twisting towards the right. Maybe you can see your hand up towards the sky. Bring your right hand back down as you bend both knees. Straighten through your left leg as you lift left arm to the sky. Right knee is bent. Few breaths here. And bring left hand down to the floor, bending both knees. This time we're going to drop our hips low as we lift the chest high, and arms can come in line with the ears, or you might want to keep them to the heart. Tailbone is down, belly is in. You might be able to come a little bit lower. Small stool, high chair, whichever feels good for you. Most of your weight here is in your heels. Belly is active. Bottom, don't pop it up to the sky, keep it down. And come all the way up to standing. Hands to the heart, hands down by the sides. Inhale, palms together. Changing it up again, exhale. Inhale, lifting, exhale, fall forward. Right leg, big step back, knee is down. So if you want a longer practice here, you can add in some of these twists. You can pause the video and add in some of these twists that we've just done. But we're going to, for this video, I'm going to come straight back into plank, into our sun salutations. So we step back, knees to the floor, chest to the floor, lift the heart. Exhale, downward dog. Right leg, this is where our changes are going to come into this practice. Right leg lifts up, step it forward, left knee is off the floor. Swivel your left heel down to the floor, so you want both feet pressed nice and firm. Right knee is bent, take a nice deep knee bend, pull in your belly, lift your chest away from the thighs. Warrior one, hands to heart. See if we can drop a little deeper. Inhale, lift those arms to sky. Shoulders are away from the ears. Pelvic floor is lifting, belly is in. Few breaths, pressing down into both feet. Making sure we try and get some weight on the outside edge of that back foot. Open the arms and the chest into warrior two. So we're turning to the left and the arms come out shoulder height. Your right arm in front, your left arm behind. Again, zip it up, pelvic floor, belly, drop your rib cage down, and notice this front knee, it might want to roll in over your big toe, so we're going to use these muscles in the outer thigh and the outer hip to keep that knee over those middle toes. Straightening both legs and turning all 10 toes to the long edge of your mat. Inhale, hands to hips. Exhale, fold forward halfway. So if you're really tight in your hamstrings, you might have bent knees here. If not, we're trying to lift those sit bones up towards the sky. Next exhale, all the way over, hands to the floor. Exhale, fold through. So hands are underneath the shoulders, your elbows bending back between your legs, keeping those upper arms parallel. Next, inhale, lift the head and chest halfway. Hands to hips. And inhale all the way up. Turn your right toes to face the front of your mat, swiveling in these left toes a little bit as well. Take the arms out, drop that front knee. Warrior B, warrior two. Reaching this right side of the rib cage over that right thigh. Reach, reach, reach as far as you can. Then you can drop the elbow to the thigh. Lift that left arm up to the sky, over the ear, and palm towards the floor. So again, a lovely stretch on the outside of the left leg, the left side of the waist, the rib cage, and through those fingers. Again, if you've got a more advanced practice, you might be able to reach the floor here, little toe side of your foot. Roll the rib cage and heart to the sky. Wherever you are here, you also might want to bind this posture. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably not ready for it yet. So your left hand is going to come down to the floor. As you do, swivel the back foot so all 10 toes are facing forward. Step this right leg back into plank. Knees drop to the floor. Chest drops to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Tuck the toes, lift the bottom, downward dog. Left leg, step it forward. You're going to do all the same on this side. Place that right heel down on the floor. The foot is turning out slightly. Engage your pelvic floor and your belly. Bend through that front knee as you lift those hands to heart and up to the sky. So just be careful in your warrior, you don't jump into your lower back. Your tailbone is coming towards the floor, your pubic bone coming towards your belly button. Stay strong in your core. Your back bend here is from your upper back. Drop the shoulders, lift the heart. Open it into warrior two. So we're taking arms out, shoulder height. The chest turns to the right. And your gaze can come to your left fingertips. Few breaths here. So the angle in our legs hasn't changed from warrior one to warrior two. You might be able to drop a little bit deeper. And then we're going to turn all 10 toes to the long edge of the mat. Roll those shoulders back, interlock the hands behind you, palms face towards each other, hands down towards the floor, lift your heart. Exhale, fold forward from your hips, hands stay together. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale all the way over. Maybe your hands lift off your bottom, off your back. They might come up towards the ceiling. You might be able to take them over your head towards the floor. Remember, don't force, don't strain. Stay with your breath. Pause the video, rest when you need to. Next, inhale. Pull in the belly, lift the heart all the way up. Take the hands back out to the sides. Turn your left foot forward. Your right toes facing in. We're going to surf over this left leg. So we're going to reach to the left side of the rib cage, coming towards the thigh. Maybe your elbow onto that thigh. Right hand up to the sky, reaching over the ear towards the floor. Maybe your left hand comes to the floor here, little toe side of your foot. Or maybe you want to take a bind. That left hand can come under the thigh, right hand can sweep back, and we can lift the chest. So again, a few variations dependent on your practice. Let's bring right hand to the floor, swivel round on that back foot so all 10 toes are facing forward. Right leg, we're going to step it forward. Exhale over those legs. And inhale, pull in your belly, come up to standing. Exhale, hands down to the sides. We've got one more round to do. Inhaling, palms together. Exhaling. Inhaling, lift the chest, lift the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Right leg, step back, knees down. Remember your variation options. You can take a twist here. Left leg, step back into plank. Knees to the floor, chest to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Tuck the toes, lift the bottom, downward dog. Right leg, step in forward between the hands, left foot to the floor. Warrior A, push into those feet, lift the chest, bring the hands to the heart. So we've already done a warrior, so this is where we're going to be. Remember, pubic bone towards belly, take a breath, take your time. We're going to reach these arms to the sky, interlock your fingers, make a steeple, and then we're going to fold from the hips over that front leg. Bringing your belly and rib cage down towards that thigh. Trying to keep these arms in line with the ears. When we can't come any further, lift your back heel. Push into your back toes. Keep pushing forward. I'm probably going to go off screen right now. Maybe your back heel lifts off the floor. Push through your heel, little toe towards the floor. See if we can straighten that front leg. On your next inhale, lift your chest. Try not to let your left foot touch the floor as you sweep it all the way through. Come to standing, one leg standing. Left knee is lifted. You can take the hands back to the hips. Open that left knee out to the side. And maybe reach down and take that foot into the inside of the right leg. So this foot can be to the inner ankle, the calf, the thigh. Hands can come together. If you found your balance, you can take it into your tree pose. Inner arms, pressing towards the ears. Belly is in. Bring your hands back to your heart. Release that left leg, but try not to let the foot touch the floor. Your left knee is now pointing forward. Flex your foot. We're going to start to hinge forward. As you bring the chest forward, start to push that left heel away. Little toe stays down towards the floor. Lift from your inner thigh. You can bring your hands to the floor and lift that left leg up towards the sky. You might want to point your toes here for little standing splits. Bend your front knee. Take your back foot to the floor. Lift it back into your warrior one. Well done. Well done. That takes some balance, takes a little practice. Bring the hands down, all the way to the floor. Step it back into plank. Knees to the floor. Chest to the floor. Cobra. Downward dog. Tuck the toes. Lift the knees. Lift the hips. You might want to pause here for a few breaths. Remember, if your breath is getting excited, or if you're holding on to your breath, you're challenging yourself a little bit too much, so take a rest. Come back into your practice when you've got more control of your breath. Lift the belly and rib cage from the floor. Left leg, lift it up. Hug it in. Step it all the way through. Right foot to the floor. Warrior one, lift the chest, hands to heart. Remember to engage. Pubic bone towards belly button. Lift the hands up to the sky. Interlock the fingers, create a steeple, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Start to hinge forwards. Got nice, strong, active arms. So squeezing towards the cheeks, towards the ears. We hinge forward from the hips. When we can't hinge anymore, we lift the back heel. We start pushing into those back toes. Maybe we need to take a little hop forward. Press into that front leg, really strong. Lift your back heel, little toe towards the floor. Warrior C, Virabhadrasana 3. And without letting that right foot touch the floor, we're going to stand all the way up. Bring that right knee forward. Oh, well done. If you're still with me, bring your hands to your hips. Take your right knee out to the side. And then place that right foot anywhere into the inner left leg. Please do avoid your inner knee, it won't like it, so below the knee or above the knee is absolutely fine. Take the hands to heart. If you've got your stability here, bring the hands up to the sky. Tree pose. Few breaths, find your gaze, find your drishti. Let the breath become calm. Bring the hands back to the heart. Release your right leg. Don't let that foot touch the floor if you can help it. Bring the right knee forward. And we're going to start to push that right leg back as we hinge forward from the hips. Maybe our shoulders, hips and right ankle are all in a nice straight line. I have no idea if mine are. Bend your front knee, place your back foot on the floor. Back to your warrior A. Bring the hands all the way down to the floor. Step it back to plank. Drop your knees wide, big toes together. Bump to heels, forehead to floor. Take a few breaths. So again, you can pause the video here, take as long as you need. Maybe this is where you want to finish your practice today. I've got a short time. You've done a good practice so far. Some hip opening. Hopefully the heart rate has been worked. You've done some strong standing postures, some balance, a little bit of twisting. So you've got an all-round practice. But if you're going to continue with me now, let's come onto the knees. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. And we're spending a few breaths in your down dog. Think about really lengthening the spine. Your gaze is back towards your toes. And we're going to start to walk the hands back towards the feet. So we're walking towards the back of your mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And then you can heel toe those toes out to the sides of your mat. So your feet are really wide now, wider than your hips. Your toes are turned out slightly. And we're going to bend the knees, drop the hips between the heels, and then straighten the legs, sit bones to sky. Bending the knees, dropping the hips down, straightening the legs, sit bones to sky. And bending the knees and holding it here. So if you've got trouble, realise I just come completely off screen. If you've got trouble bringing your heels down towards the floor, don't worry, try and take your feet a little bit wider, that often helps. Turn your toes out a little bit more, that also sometimes helps. Or you can place, you can roll up the back of your mat to lift your heels slightly, or you can place a blanket under the heels. Okay. If your heels are still off the floor, you've just got a little balance to do. If your knees really don't like this posture, please don't do it. You can come down with your bottom on the floor, take soles of the feet together, and you can work on opening these hips here. If we're still in our Malasana squat, our little yoga squat, you can stay here for a few breaths longer, or you might want to pause the video and start to practice some arm balance. You can start to practice some crow or side crow. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then it's not ready for you. You're not ready for it today. Maybe in another video we will do some crow practice. So if you're going to be joining me through the next couple of postures, let's bring our hands to the floor and take these legs out straight. So your left leg is going to remain straight. We're going to bend this right leg, take the foot to the inner left leg. I've got my foot quite high, yours might be nearer your calf, depends on your hip. We're going to reach those arms up to the sky, turn to your left hand behind you, right arm keeps reaching up, reaching up, reaching up, and then as we exhale, we reach forward towards those left toes. Bring your hand to the outside edge of your left leg. It might be by your calf, your ankle, or your foot. Left hand reaches over and comes to the inside. Lift the chest, drop the shoulders. Bend your elbows and exhale, chin towards the shin. Few breaths here. Always think about lengthening your spine. Nose towards the toes. It's very easy when we come into these forward folds to get a bit lazy, to just flop over this leg. So really trying to keep active here. Pelvic floor up, belly in, lift the chest, lift those arms up to the sky and bring them out to the side. We're going to revolve our posture. So keep this left leg where it is. We're going to start to open up this right knee out to the side and towards the back of your mat. So you've got nice wide hips. Left hand on the right knee, right hand behind, and lengthen the spine, twist to face towards the back of your mat. Keep this beautiful twist happening as you reach your left hand back to your left leg. You're still twisting towards the back of your mat, so just find your leg. Your right arm reaches up to the sky. Inhale, reach tall, create length, and exhale. Start to reach for that left foot. Maybe your left hand can reach it. Maybe your right hand can reach it. Revolve the rib cage, revolve the heart. You're looking underneath your right armpit. A few breaths here. One of my favourite postures of all time. Beautiful stretch. Belly is in as we lift the chest, lift the arms, and bring this right leg to join the left. Repeating on the other side. So right leg stays straight, left leg comes in. Reach those arms high, twist into your right hand behind, left hand comes down, and we reach for the outside edge of that right foot. Your right arm comes up and over. So left hand is to the outside of the leg, right hand is to the inside of the leg. Lift the chest, drop the shoulders, bend those elbows, chin to shin, gaze to toes. Few breaths. Pelvic floor up, belly is in as we reach those arms up to the sky and take them down. Right leg stays where it is as we open up our left knee. So I tend to lift and wiggle a little bit, coming more onto the left sit bone than the right here, but that's okay. Your right hand is going to go to your left knee. We're going to lengthen up the spine here. Really take a lovely twist towards the back of your mat. Right leg stays active, toes to the sky. Taking your right hand onto your right leg, lift your left arm to the sky, and as you exhale, we start to slide the hand down, that leg reaching towards our foot. Maybe we can take hold, rotating the ribs, rotating the chest, gaze up towards the sky, and taking a few breaths. Next inhale, again control of the pelvic floor, control of the belly, lift all the way up. Bring that left leg to join the right. We're going to wiggle a little bit towards the front of our mat. Take hold behind the knees, chest is proud, shoulders back. Walk those heels towards the bottom, flex the feet, and lift those legs. So we've got ankles parallel with the knees. Maybe you can leave go and reach the hands towards the feet. Maybe you can straighten those legs up towards the sky, boat pose. We're going to take some rocking, so bring those legs in, wrap around the shins, take yourself into a little ball, chin towards the chest, and let's take a roll back. Make sure there's nothing behind you that you could hurt yourself on. So we roll back, lift the bottom, roll forward, feet come to the floor. Roll back, bottom lifts, roll forward, feet to the floor. These next few, try not to let your feet come all the way down to the floor. We're going to break. Rolling back, lifting up, we're going to break. Don't let those feet touch the floor. Rolling back, this time break and reach the arms, reach the legs. Roll it back. Last time, break, reach those legs out. And this time, when we roll back, we're going to support our hips. So we roll back, lift the hips, take the hands underneath. Got a little inversion. You might want to stay here, just with those hips set gently lifted off the floor. You might want to come a little bit higher, walking the hands up the back and lifting those hips higher towards the sky, onto the shoulder blades. You might want to come higher all the way onto the top of the shoulders, into your shoulder stand. If you're up here, please don't look around the room, please don't look at the screen, just look at your legs. Again, you can stay in your inversion for as long as you like. You can have a little play with the legs, maybe taking one leg over, maybe both legs over. But if you're going to continue with me, we're going to bend both knees into the chest, keep supporting those hips as we roll them down to the floor. And as the bottom hits the floor, push yourself up, flip your palms, push yourself up and reach forward to your toes. Lift the chest, let the shoulders come onto the floor. Take a big breath in and a big sigh out. Your practice is finished. Just allow the floor to take your weight. Nothing your body needs to do right now. Give your body permission to relax, release and let go. And stay in your Shavasana for as long as you like. And I really recommend you stay here for at least a few minutes. When you're ready to move out, just inviting some movement into the hands and feet, allowing yourself to roll onto one side, gently pushing yourself up, maybe keeping the eyes closed for a little while. When you're ready to finish your practice, you can take those arms up to the sky. Take a big stretch, bring them down behind you, take hold of one wrist with the opposite hand, let the head and chest bow towards the floor. Taking this moment always as your moment of gratitude, and always first and foremost to yourself for allowing yourself to spend some time with you today. Lifting the head and chest, releasing those hands and bringing them back to the heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Thank you for checking into this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, it's not called Yoga Perfect. It's called Yoga Practice for a reason. So practice, practice, practice. Maybe I will drop some more videos in for you. Let me know what you want. And I can see what I can deliver. So have a lovely day. Keep practicing. Until next time, namaste.